SHAWCO's been a part of my life for the best part of 50 years now. It has had a great influence on my life. What influence has it had on the greater part of the community in which it serves? I grew up in Woodstock, and when my grandparents moved to District 6, I moved in with them. My parents then moved to Factoryton. I moved with them. And this is where my life story actually begins. We soon found ourselves under the SHAWCO, the hospital's organizations. I assumed all families in the area were under the SHAWCO day hospitals. It's very much the same like they used to be in the past. They do the same services as a day hospital. Difference being that in the past the doctors used to come to your home. Nowadays the patient goes to the doctor. I remember being invited to the SHAWCO Christmas parties way back in the 1970s. Kids were invited from the area, from the community, and we always had a great time. We used to have kids used to sit on the wooden floors and were given gifts. Mine was a little yellow truck. At least it wasn't little, it was quite huge. It was about 30 centimeters. I remember the rear back wheels being of a different type. Even I could see that the wheels didn't belong there. But this was the nature of the program. My wife's grandparents were part of the SHAWCO Seniors Club. They rushed home one day and told me that if I'm interested, they are looking for a driver at SHAWCO with extra heavy duty license. If I'm interested, I should apply. I was so excited. I applied for the job and I received it, and I started at SHAWCO on the 8th of the 8th, 1988. That's now 30 years. In August it will be 30 years. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. I've never looked back. It was a great journey. We had a fleet of high aces of about 7 or 8 of them. We used them all over for the projects, driving students around and the education and health projects. The need became bigger because we needed bigger vehicles, and also we replaced them with newer vehicles because of the safety factor. So let me take you back to the history of my SHAWCO story. My grandfather stowed away on a ship in 1944 from the Philippine Islands. They were running away from the Japanese invasion of the motherland. The ship docked in Hout Bay. They got off here, and lots of these family names are still prevailing. The area, Ocean View and Hout Bay area, they're still living in that area. Like myself, our family, we came out of the Hout Bay area and we got to live in Cape Town, Greater Cape Town, and Factoryton, Kensington area. I asked my father, why do I have such an uncommon name? Where does it come from? My siblings all have easy names. And he said, well, it's your grandfather's name. So I'm proud of the fact that I have my grandfather's name and surname. St. James Church is a dear place to me. On the wall is a plaque with my grandfather's name, my name on it, Joachim Sadan, a name I am now extremely proud to have. I lived with my grandparents in Rutger Street in Cape Town in District 6. I asked my pa one day, how did we get to lose the house? Because I'd heard something about it in the SHAWCO history tours. He told me that the apartheid police came and said, Mr. Wieder, we want to buy your house from you. He said, I'm not interested in selling. He said, well, under apartheid rule, we are allowed to take your house from you without question. We were forcibly removed and trucked to an area called Tafelsig in Mitchell's Plain, right behind on the Cape Flats, behind Mitchell's Plain and Cape Flats. They never liked it there. Obviously, they had everything where they were. His work, everything was in Cape Town. They never left Cape Town, and to be thrown on into the forest area, into the sand dunes of Tafelsig, wasn't very exciting. It wasn't exciting at all. But they made the most of it, obviously, but they never ever climatized themselves to the area. My grandfather was a dental surgeon in Cape Town Central. He used to walk from home in the District 6 to Cape Town to work. Everyone did that. Everyone walked from their homes to town to work and back home. It was so convenient. And one day he tried to walk from Mitchell's Plain to Nyanga Station, which at his age, he was quite an age at the time already, it was quite difficult. When my grandfather got to the station in town, he looked up at the hill where he used to stay. He probably said, imagine that. I used to live there once. That was my home. Can you imagine living in a house where you had people all around you, and then you're taken out of there and put back into District 6, which was in District 6 obviously, because he was alone in the home, in this house. He knew no one there. He stayed there for 2 weeks and said, no, take me back where I come from. And then he retired in Mitchell's Plain and never went back to the house that he received. My aunt still stays in the home now, but it will never be the same. Being a bus driver for SHAWCO is one of the most fascinating jobs. A bus driver, much like a barber, is a multifaceted role. It's far more than driving. You become the storyteller, counselor, the financial advisor, the grandpa, the joker, the listener, and the peacemaker. This one student comes to me and she says, driver, thank you very much for driving us. And I said to her, no, thank you. Thank you, because without you, I don't have this job. And this is the kind of appreciation that you have at SHAWCO within the organization. If it wasn't this good, I would not have taken 30 years in this organization. I work for a truly remarkable organization. I wouldn't change this organization or this position for anything else in the world. The Joachim Sadan Award has been established to honor long service to SHAWCO. I'm glad to have left a legacy in this organization. This is my contribution to an organization that is creating a legacy in the communities it works in.